Tell us a little bit about your service. How did it all start? How did we get involved in the wedding industry?
Well, first, I became a makeup artist about 17 years ago, and I really enjoyed doing bridal makeup. That was one of my favorite things to do. And when I moved to Pensacola, Florida, I grew up in the DC area, you had to have your aesthetic license in order to perform makeup services here. So I went through the aesthetic program at Pensacola State College and got my license, and in that I really delve into skincare and more into the non-toxic beauty. So the trend of organic eating and all that was kind of like on the uprise. And then learning in school that we digest 60% of what we put on our skin in 24 seconds started making me think, what's in my products, not just what's in my food that I'm eating. So as we began, me and my husband, we started having children, and I was a little more conscious about what I was putting on my body during pregnancy. And we started with a store on Bayou, and we did non-toxic services there where we did manicures, pedicures, facials, and everyone loved the pedicures. And I said, man, if I could get downtown and have more techs doing this, I think this could be really great. So it took us about 2 years to get to that point. And in about a couple more days, we're going to be celebrating our first year open. Yeah. I know, it's so exciting. But we offer non-toxic services. So we don't classify ourselves as organic, just because most products, I mean, there could be 100 ingredients and 2 will actually be organic, and it'll be considered organic when it's really not. We want to focus on the toxins. So from our pedicures, our manicures, our skincare, our makeup, everything is non-toxic that we do. And then in growing that, I mean, we've just been able to do some great bridal makeup, been featured in a lot of local magazines, made cover for a lot of great brides, and it's really dear to us because I think when you're able to spend that moment with someone, like you get married, that's one of the biggest days of your life. You spend a lot of money on that day, and just to be able to be there and kind of see the person transform into the last part, because makeup's pretty much the last part that they do right before they step into their dress. And how many times have we gone into weddings and we watch the bride just step into her dress and we're all like in the background like crying just because crying. It's so special. Or when the dad sees his daughter like about to get married, it's such a beautiful moment that we get to share with people.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love doing the first look with dad, and I always tell my brides, you have to allocate at least a couple of hours for your hair and makeup on your wedding day. And they say most of the times they're like, 2 hours, that's a lot of time, you know? And I say it's very special. It's not your regular typical day with makeup, right? So would that be a correct information?
Absolutely. So one thing that we like to do, which I'm sure you do as well, is education. You educate your customers. I mean, most people, which I can attest for doing this, it's the stoplight makeup. I'm very busy running a store, running a family, just everything. I may get a little base on at home, but it's like mascara at the stoplight, you know, whatever I can do at a stoplight, and I'm good to go walking in the door. And lipstick, little gloss. But this day is actually like, it's a signature look. And that's what we try to like explain to our customers, is it's a signature look. So we have them come in for a trial run, and we let them know. I mean, it's about a 45-minute to an hour session with our people because we want them relaxed. We want them enjoying themselves and taking pictures of that moment. Like, I mean, you want to capture these memories in such a form. So it's absolutely correct that they need that time for them to get ready. I mean, it's the biggest day of their life potentially, and you're spending a lot of money on it, so look your best.
Absolutely, yeah. So do you guys help the brides with choosing what kind of makeup should they be applying on the wedding day?
Yes.
Should it be more expressive than their usual daily makeup? Like, how extreme should they go on their wedding day when it comes to hair and makeup?
So what we like to do is tell them, bring in a couple of looks that you like. And we like to say that there's some edit buttons, because some people will give you a look that they want, but we know that look's not going to translate well on them. So during the run through, we kind of show them, like, this is the look that you wanted. This is what it looks like on you. So this is what we think that would look best. And we'll make a couple tweaks, and it's like, oh, that's amazing. So
That's
just
during
really
the trial run.
during the trial run. So during the trial run, I mean, it could take up to 2 hours on someone, just because they may have thought that this is the look that they wanted, but in actuality, when it gets on them, it's not. But I'll say probably 80% of the time, a lot of them don't know what they want, because they're really not used to wearing kind of makeup like that, you know? And they say, do what looks great on me. And we'll do it and nail it 100% of the time. But the people that have a look in mind, we definitely like to show them, this is what the look is going to look like on you, and this is what we think that would look really great on you, to give them options.
Absolutely. So the trial run, is it usually included in all of your wedding collections, or it's an option they get to
It's an
choose?
option that they get to choose. So that's one thing that a lot of ladies like to do, whether they have their bridal portraits coming up, whether they have their bridal luncheon, whether they're going to the rehearsal dinner the night before. It's a moment that they can come in and get their makeup done, and not just wear it and say, oh, this is going to look good, but wear it and have a purpose for it. Like,
Absolutely.
get your money's, use out of it. And then we always include lashes, which a lot of people kind of upcharge for lashes. We don't upcharge for lashes. A lot of people say, oh, I really don't want lashes. You do want lashes. Lashes, you've seen it. Like, the eyes transform. Like, they don't have to be heavy and look too much. They can just be a real natural look, but it just really opens up your eyes and looks great.
What kind
pictures.
of lashes do you use?
We use a couple different brands that we like. It really depends upon the person, their eye shape, and what their eye can handle. I think some of our favorite is the mother of the bride or the mother of the groom, because they don't want a lot. They want to look like themselves, but then you tell them lashes, and it's like, no, and we're like
Fight
pulling
you on it.
teeth, right?
But as soon as you put them on,
They're like,
They're
oh
like,
my
wow.
gosh.
Transform. What's the best way to remove wedding lashes?
So the way that we apply them, which is the proper way, they don't attach to your actual lash.
Mhm.
They attach to your lash line. You pick at the side, and it literally peels right off. You're not going to lose any lashes. It's not going to burn. It's not going to irritate you. Nothing. And you just whoosh, pull them out. I've had several brides
It's
that
true.
decided to wear them through the night and wanted to look pretty, and I was like, well, you're gonna have to sleep pretty, so that you look good in the morning. And they'll say, my lash ended up on my new husband's back, arm, shoulder. So
It's a
we
risk.
recommend taking them off.
one of the things that we do here that's a little bit different also is we don't use a thick lash glue. We use a lash adhesive, and the drying time is much less. You don't feel it, and that's really important, especially on your wedding day. The last thing you want to do is be able to see your lashes, So it's definitely, it blends well. A lot of times you don't even know that they're there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like
That's
those
good to
first
know.
5 to 7 minutes, they feel like snuffleupagus lashes.
right.
But
and
after that, they
that,
change, and it doesn't feel.
So you guys focus on organic materials through and through.
It's
Oh
not
yeah,
toxic,
the whole process. I mean, even the makeup that we use for our bridal makeup, we use a lot of like cancer certified makeup. The products that we use are meant to enhance, but not to. I mean, you soak in everything. So, well, and also you don't want to like wake up the next morning after your wedding with acne or things like that. So,
And a lot of people, they've experienced that, and myself, like that's why I started really researching more the non-toxic mineral-based makeups. And there was definitely a trend for a long period of time where airbrush makeup was the makeup that you did for your wedding because it's glue on your face. But the actuality of it is a non-toxic mineral-based makeup will last just as long, if not better. And it's actually doing something beneficial for your skin. So we've had several people, whether they were on camera for TV shows and we're doing makeup and their face breaks out every time they use a certain brand. And I was like, that brand has a lot of chemicals and a lot of color dyes, which your skin doesn't like. So some people break out in eczema, some people break out in psoriasis, dry skin, acne, cystic acne, just because of ingredients that are in products. So our brides love the fact that we can do a makeup look where it doesn't have to be full of toxins. Like she was saying, they can wash their face off in the morning and not have a pimple the next day because it's a clean makeup. And one of the ladies asked me one time, she was like, is this makeup gonna last? Because, you know, it has to last. And I was like, I promise you it will last. Like, it's a great makeup line, I promise you. Our setting sprays, everything's just really great. And the next week she got back from her honeymoon, she sent me a picture. She had cake all over her face. I think it was like the worst cake fight that I've ever seen at a wedding. And she was like, do you know, I wiped the cake off my face and my makeup was still on. And I was like, that's good makeup.
About on-location services, do you guys offer them? Is it included in price? How much would you charge to come, let's say, to a hotel? Is there a mileage fee?
So all in kind of like local area, we do charge a location fee just because our artists have to leave, you know, the building. But people are more than welcome to come here and get their makeup done. But if it makes sense and it's a little easier for them, we go on location and we charge just a flat fee of $150 to go on location. So whether you have 18 people getting their makeup done or 6 people getting their makeup done, it's just a flat fee that we charge. We really like to do the mother of the bride or the mother of groom first because, you know, they never like to have a bare face when the photographer shows up. So we make it a priority to take care of mommies, aunties, whoever first so that they can kind of like be ready for the day. Then we'll go to bridesmaids and then we save the bride for last. So she can basically get right from makeup to her stepping into her dress.
Just had one of those weddings and it started early. It started at 7 a.m. So they started getting their hair done and they just sent them over one by one. So depending on how many, say it's 10, it really also depends on the hair and kind of what they're doing style-wise. But right after hair, I mean, if we have to be here early, of course, we don't mind. When it's a big day, it's a big day.
It's a big day.
So.
Yeah.
And typically, I mean, we can do like bridesmaids, mother of the brides, we like to allocate maybe 30, 40 minutes per person for their makeup. As far as hair, that'll be determined on the style that they get, which that can go anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour per person.
Yep.
Bride, I love just to set out 45 minutes to an hour. Typically, it's really hard for the bride to sit any longer than that, you know? And a lot of times,
it's her big day.
It's her big day, and we're going to give her everything that she wants. But that's what we want to do, is a lot of people go, gosh, I wish I could just get a mask like this for the weekend. I wish I could do something in between. So we've been in the process of trying to, you know, come up with that and what we can provide our customers when they come into the store so they can take stuff home and work with them.
A random fact about your business.
So I have one.
Okay, I'm excited.
Deshi is Japanese.
Oh.
And it actually means student or disciple. So we've kind of pride ourselves in the education factor. We've pride ourselves as people working here in a place of always learning, always being a student. So if we can always live our life like that, then you're always going to grow. And so doing that, that's the same thing that we want to portray to our customers, is the education. So Deshi means student. We always want to live our life as a student.
That's very interesting and beautiful. Do you offer services to grooms or only brides?
Yes.
No, absolutely. Okay, so this is something that when we kind of first were pushing facials and things like that, we decided to kind of fall into the beard trend. So we actually offer things. We offer facials for men, we offer pedicures for men, but we also offer beard facials for men. That includes like a high frequency with a beard comb. It's super fun. It's something that the bride and groom can do together to get ready for the day, or he can do by himself or with his groomsmen. I think
It's always fun watching the grooms.
It is so much fun. And sometimes they'll do something cute too, like they'll get like their wife's initials like painted on their toe or just something fun, and that actually happens. I mean, it's just, we're really lucky because I think Pensacola is kind of getting to the point where like men aren't scared to take care of themselves,
Right.
and we
That's
see
true.
that so much more lately. And actually, we had a groomsman here the other day who kind of like walked in on his wife's little like bachelorette party, and it was really fun. He hung out, drank champagne, put his feet in a tub,
He
and
did.
so I mean, yeah,
That's
it's brides and grooms.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be. I don't know. We're just in such a good spot for that. So.
So Deshi, tell us a little bit about your product.
Okay. 2 years before we actually opened the store, I worked with a team. It was a scientist and a chemist, and I wanted to create our own skincare line. So working with different plastic surgeons over the years, one of the things that I saw was that the products actually had a lot of parabens and sulfates and a whole bunch of filler that didn't do anything for this skin. It was just so that they could make a mass quantity of them and it could be in a warehouse. So I wanted to create a non-toxic medical grade skincare line, which isn't really out there yet. So it's kind of a baby to me personally. But we launched it when we opened the store about a year ago, and it's going great. It is a medical grade skincare line without the harsh toxins. It's not organic. It's not completely free. It's not a whole bunch of essential oils and all of that. It's an actual medical grade skincare line. So it's going to help with hyperpigmentation. It's going to help with resurfacing. It's really geared for those of us that want to reverse the signs of aging.
So how do brides find you?
So a great way, we are downtown, so if brides are walking by, we are on Main Street, so we are 5 West Main Street, Pensacola, Florida. We're also on Instagram, which is at Deshi on Main, and then you can also find us online at www.deshibeauty.com.
Thank you so much, guys, for being featured on our vendor spotlight and sharing your stories about your store, the services and the products. I really loved getting to know you guys and sitting down with you and talking about the brides and the weddings. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much. Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming in.